Hey there and welcome to today's Crockpot video. I'm so excited to bring it to you today just because I love Crockpot recipes. They're just super simple. They're pretty much like you dump it in the Crockpot and you could go. Anyways, here in Utah it is starting to get cold. The leaves are starting to fall from the trees and actually it rained today, so it is starting to become fall. But this video is also fun because it's in collaboration with my friend named Caitlin. Her channel is Living That Mama Life. She's going to be doing a lot of Crockpot recipes this fall as well, so if you want to check her out after my video, I will leave her channel linked in my description box below. But I hope you guys are all doing well and enjoy this video, and if you are new here, I'd love to have you, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video. But let's get cooking. To get us started off, we're going to be making a super easy pork chop recipe. This one is also very flavorful, so if you're looking for a really easy recipe with simple ingredients, this one might be the one for you. So into this separate bowl, I'm just going to be adding my can of cream of mushroom soup along with my can of cream of chicken soup to start. Now into that bowl, I'm just adding a cup of some vegetable broth. If you don't have vegetable broth, you could just add chicken broth. And then I'm adding in 1 packet of this Lipton onion soup mix. And then I'm just going to whisk this up so it's no longer clumpy. Now into the bottom of my crock pot, I'm just adding in my 4 pork chops. If you have a crock pot liner, you could definitely add your crock pot liner in for easy cleanup, but I just didn't have any crock pot liners on hand. And now I'm just pouring in that mixture right on top of the pork chops, and then I actually wiggled the pork chops around so all that creamy mixture could get all up in the pork chops, and then I put this on low for about 6 hours. Here is my plate. I just served it on a bed of some mashed potatoes and some asparagus on the side, and I just poured some of that gravy everywhere. This came out so delicious. The pork chops were nice and tender. This was just the perfect meal, and I think you'll really like this one. Now we're going to be making some Tuscan chicken. This one is also very simple, but yet so delicious. So into my crock pot, I have 4 chicken breasts in there. These are frozen chicken breasts. You don't have to use frozen, you could use fresh, but of course I just was running out of time and I didn't have any time to thaw my chicken. I just seasoned it with some salt and pepper, and I squeezed in about 6 cloves of garlic. And now I'm adding in 1 chopped up white onion. I did chop it up pretty small, and now I'm adding in my diced up artichoke hearts. This is just 16 ounces of those that I diced up pretty small, and then I'm adding in my 8 ounces of some sun-dried tomatoes. I cooked this on low for about 3 to 4 hours. Now that it is cooked, I'm just going to be shredding it up, and then you're going to be adding your cheese. This step is definitely optional. If you don't care for cheese, you don't have to add it, but I'm just adding in about 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese and 1/3 cup of some mozzarella along with our spinach. This is just 8 ounces of some baby spinach that I did clean off really well, and now I'm just going to stir this together and plop the lid on and let that spinach wilt down. Here is my plate. I just served it on a bed of some egg noodles, and let me just tell you, this came out super delicious and flavorful. I really suggest making this, and I do suggest serving it on some egg noodles. Now we're going to be making some pot roast. This is actually my favorite pot roast recipe ever. My mom made it like this while I was growing up. But into my crock pot, I'm adding my 3.5 pound beef roast in there, and then on top of that, I'm going to be adding 1.5 cups of water. Then we're going to begin to season it up. So you're going to want to season it with 1 packet of some Italian dressing mix. This is just the powder mix, and then 1 packet of this brown gravy mix. I use the reduced sodium one, but you could just use the normal one. And then I'm going to be adding in 1 packet of some ranch dressing mix, or you could add about 1.5 tablespoons of that. I just cooked this on low for about 4 hours, and then 4 hours later, you're going to be adding in your veggies. So the veggies I'm adding in is just some peeled and diced russet potatoes along with some carrots and onions, and then you're going to cook this for another 2 to 3 hours until all of your veggies are cooked and your beef starts to pull apart. Here is our pot roast. This came out super yummy. I just served it with a little croissant roll on the side, and I just sprinkled some salt and pepper on top for some added flavor. This came out super yummy, and like I said before, it's my favorite pot roast recipe. Everybody loves some good old barbecue in the crock pot, so now that is what we're going to be making. So into my crock pot, I have about 2 pounds of some chicken breast in there. This is frozen chicken once again, but of course you could use thawed chicken. I added a cup of some barbecue sauce to that, and then I'm adding in about 1/3 cup of this Italian dressing and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce for some added flavor, and then I'm going to be adding in 1/2 cup of some water, and that is seriously it. You're going to put your lid on for about 4 hours or until it reaches the internal temperature of 165 degrees, and then you're just going to shred this up. Here's my barbecue chicken sandwich. I served it as a sandwich on a toasted bun with a slice of some sharp cheddar cheese. I didn't serve any sides along with it, but I wanted to make some potato salad, but I ran out of time. This came out super yummy. This one is definitely a family favorite for sure and a classic. We're just going to be making some chicken and stuffing in the crock pot. So to begin, I have 1.5 pounds of some chicken. I just used tenderloins, or you could use breast, whatever you prefer. This was frozen once again, and now I'm just adding my 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese and 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar cheese on top, along with my can of cream of mushroom soup mix, and I just spread that out to the best of my ability. And now we're going to be adding this box. This is a 6-ounce box of stuffing on top. I do prefer this brand over the Great Value brand, but just use whatever you prefer. And now we're just going to be making our chicken broth and butter mixture. This is a cup of some chicken broth and then 1/2 cup of melted butter, and I just stirred that together to combine, and we're just going to be pouring it on top of our stuffing, and we're not going to stir anything. We're just going to leave it how it is, and we're just going to cook this on low for about 6 to 8 hours. We just want that chicken to be completely cooked. I did serve this on top of some white rice, and I wanted to show you how I do it in my Instant Pot, just in case you've never made white rice in your Instant Pot. So I added in a cup of some white rice along with a cup of water and a tablespoon of some oil and a sprinkle of salt. I just mixed this all together, and I put my lid on top. I set this to sealing, and I pressed the rice button on high pressure for about 15 minutes, and it comes out perfect every single time. Here is my plate. Like I said before, this is a family favorite. I really do suggest this one as well. It was just so yummy. I also made a side salad to go along with this, and we love this Olive Garden light Italian dressing. I do suggest it. For this crock pot meal, we're just going to be making some chicken burritos. In my crock pot, I have 3 frozen chicken breasts, and I'm just pouring a cup of salsa on top of that. If you have Rotel, you could use a can of Rotel. I just didn't have any Rotel on hand, and now I just added in 1.5 cups of some chicken broth along with 2 tablespoons of this taco seasoning mix, and I just cooked this on high for about 2 hours or until that chicken was completely cooked. Now that my chicken is completely cooked, I'm just going to be shredding it up with my little shredder gadget right here. I do want to show you how I make my tortillas nice and crispy. I just put them on a pan with some avocado oil, and I cook it on both sides until it's nice and crispy, and then I just add some cheese to it and let it melt down. This is my favorite way of cooking up tortillas for burritos. Now to assemble my burrito, I just have a scoop of that chicken. I did take that chicken out of my crock pot with a slotted spoon so I didn't get a bunch of the juices in there. And now I just added some pinto beans along with some sour cream, iceberg lettuce, cherry tomatoes, avocado, guacamole, and some salsa. This came out so delicious. I love making burritos like this because you can make them however you want in your family. You know, if you have picky eaters, your picky eaters will still enjoy it, I feel like. But anyways, here is our burrito. And that is a wrap of this Crockpot video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it and got some Crockpot inspiration for your upcoming week. But if you are new here, I'd love to have you, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video. And don't forget to check out my friend named Caitlin. Her channel is linked down below as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.